please answer.
Tuples are immutable. That means you can also take keys as a tuple as a key. Okay, you can define a tuple as a key in the dictionary. Why can you define a tuple as a key? Because tuples are immutable type. Okay, but now the thing is that you must be thinking that in which application, in which type of program you can take tuple as a key. Otherwise, taking numbers or taking strings, that is okay. That example, you already know that you can take that as a key. Okay, so I'll be taking here one example where you can define a tuple as a key in the dictionary. Okay, so what is that example? Suppose I'm taking one matrix. This is one matrix. You can say this is one list. Within that list, you are having one list first, comma, second list is there like this way. You can define in C and C++, you say that this is your two-dimensional array or this is a matrix. Suppose you want to define a matrix over here. So I have taken over here like 0, 0, 0, 1, 0. That is the first row of the matrix, second row, third row, fourth row, and the fifth row. Okay. Now this matrix is called the sparse matrix. So I think you already know what is a sparse matrix. If most of the entries, if most of the values of this matrix is zero, then that is matrix is called a sparse one. Okay, like over here you can see how many elements are there. There are 5 rows, and how many columns are there? 5. So 25 items are there. But out of those 25 items, only 3 items are non-zeros, all other are zeros. Okay, that means this type of matrix is called your sparse matrix because mostly all the items or the values of this matrix are zeros. So if you will define it like this, okay, a lot of memory is being wasted over here. Fine. Why memory is being wasted over here? Because most of the entries are zeros. So we can assume that only these 3 are non-zero. So whenever we want to access or use these, only these 3 items are going to have some non-zero value. All others are your 0, 0. Fine. So instead of defining a matrix like this, in order to save the memory, you can define a dictionary. In a dictionary now, you can take a key as a tuple. For the keys, we can use the tuples. Now what that tuple will contain? Okay, now whenever you want to define a tuple, suppose now I'm defining a dictionary for this matrix. Instead of taking the nested list, in order to define this matrix, I'm taking a dictionary. So first of all, I'm putting these curly braces. Okay, now within that, I'm defining a tuple. Now this tuple is my key. Now, which entry is non-zero? Like over here, you can say this entry is first of all non-zero. And sorry, what this entry is, this is in 0 row. Okay, what is the column number of that? Column index of that? That is 0, 1, 2, 3. So here I'm saying 0, 3. Okay, that means I want to say that in the 0th row, the 4th location, or you can say the 3rd index number, that is non-zero. What is the value of that? That is 1. So I can define this one. Next, second value. Second value is this one. So I can define a tuple in order to define the location of that, index of that. What is the index of this? This is your second row and like one column. So you can write down here 2, 1. Okay, so this tuple is representing the location of that particular element. And what is the value of that? Value is 2. So you can define it. And then you can take 4, 3 because the third value, non-zero value is your 4, 3. And what is the value of that? That is 3. Okay, so instead of defining the nested list, to define this sparse matrix, I have taken a dictionary. But if you want to define a dictionary, you need to take a tuple. Now, why I need to take a tuple? First thing is that I can't define a list over here. I can't say that the location of my first element is this. Why I can't take a list? Because list is mutable type. Okay, so I can't take that as a key. If you will take this list as a key, you'll be getting an error. So instead of taking the list over here, I'm taking a tuple. So you won't be getting any error. So each key is here representing the location of the element, non-zero element, and colon and the value is representing the value of that particular element. Okay, so whenever I want to use this matrix, and suppose I want to access any value. Suppose I'm saying what is the value of 1, 3. That means this row, one row, and the third column. If that is not defined as a key in my dictionary, if this is not a key, then that means I can assume that value is 0. Okay, so whenever I want to suppose use this value 1, 3, you will just check, is that value present over here as a key in your dictionary? If it is not there, that means that value is 0. But if it is present, suppose if I'm taking this as 0, then the value of that would be excess, that is 1, and you can use this matrix in the form of this dictionary. Okay, so one of the applications where you can use tuple as a key is over here, that you can use that tuple to represent a key for a sparse matrix in a dictionary, not in a list of lists, but in a dictionary. Okay, so you may be asked like a question over here, like, can you use a tuple as a key in the dictionary? Give any example or explain this thing with the help of an example. So you can give this example over here. Okay. Okay, any doubt beta in this? So first thing is that before this, we have done a list, data type was there, dictionary was there, okay, tuple we have done, all the, okay, leave dictionary, but list and tuples are ordered items, ordered data types. Now, what's the meaning of ordered? Each element of this set must be unique, then it should be immutable. Again, immutable means you can't change them, you can't update them. Like you can define a tuple as the element of that set. You can take any number like integer, float, okay, because those are immutable. But you can't take a list or a dictionary as the item of that set because those are mutable, right? So this is very important whenever you are defining a Python set. These words are important. Just remember these things. Like it is a collection of unordered. I'll tell you the meaning of all these. Then each element must be unique and immutable. But the sets, those are of mutable type. Okay, like if you want to add some element in the set, if you want to update the elements of the set, that you can do. So sets are mutable, but the elements of those set, those must be your immutable type. Just like you can say keys in the dictionary, right? Next is that first thing is that how to create or how to define a set. I will take one example of that. This is there, but I will tell you this later on. Okay, I'll show you the output of this also. Okay, first of all, I'm defining a set, a simple set. If you want to define a set, you need to define within these curly braces. Okay, suppose within these curly braces, I'm taking some elements over here like this. Although you also define a dictionary using the curly braces, but whenever you're defining a dictionary, you need to take keys as well as values. Here, just you need to take some values. Suppose if you want to check what is the type of this S, it will give you that the type of this is set. So one way to define this set is that use curly braces. Another way is that you can use set function. Okay, there is one set function. Now, within this set function, you can define a list. That list will get converted to a set. You can define a tuple. That tuple will get converted to a set. Okay, suppose I'm saying that I'm defining over here a list of some values. So you can see that list is being converted to your, I'll see the type of this. See, type of this is what? Set. That means now my this list is being converted to a set using this function, set function. Okay, so there are two ways to define a set. One thing is that within curly braces you can take some values, other ways you can use a set function, and within the set function you can take any list or a tuple that will get converted to the set. Okay, now suppose just like a dictionary or list and tuple, I had told you that sometimes you need to take an empty set. So obviously if you want to take empty set, you can take it like this, that I'm defining S is equal to, I have written the curly braces, but I'm not writing anything within those curly braces because I want to define an empty set, I'm saying. Okay, let's check the type of this. Here what you're getting, you're not getting this as a set, you're getting that the type of set is what? Dictionary. Okay, because in case of dictionary, I had told you that whenever you want to define a dictionary, you can define empty dictionary, you can take empty curly braces. Like curly braces don't write down anything within that. So that means if you are just taking a curly braces, you can't define an empty set. So how to define an empty set? For that, you need to use this set function. Okay, now if you will check the type of S1, it will give you a set. But within that set, there is nothing, that is empty. Like if you will just try to print that, it is just returning you this thing because this is empty. Okay, I think while discussing, I had taken MCQs during your capsule program. So during that time, even I had taken this thing, like if someone can ask you that, suppose I'm defining a variable or any data type, S is equal to curly braces is written, what is the type of that? You can be asked that, what is the type of that? Okay, so here the type is not a set, that is a dictionary. Whenever you want to define an empty set. Is it okay? So here there is one program, like same program that I had told you. Suppose if you want to define a set over here, like over here, I have taken days. Okay, days is equal to, within curly braces, I have written all these names like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like all these things. Okay, print days. If you want to print the days, it is coming like this, whatever you have given. And even this set is iterable, like you can iterate through all the elements of this set and you can print them. Like over here, I have written for I in days, print I. If you want, I can write down over here. Suppose S is your one set in which you are taking some elements. You can write down here for I in S. You want to define, you want to print, suppose these values. So you're just iterating through one by one through this set. Okay, so all these values are being printed. Okay, for I in S, print I, that means it is just iterating through this set and it is printing those values. Okay, similarly over here, I'll show you the output of this set. For I in days, days is what? Days is the set. Okay, so for I in days, print I, it is just going through all the elements of that and it is just printing it. Okay, Wednesday, Tuesday, okay, Thursday, like this way. And you can see over here, why I was saying that set is unordered. You just see the output of this. The first element that it is printing is over here. It was Monday in your set, but over here you are getting Wednesday. Second is Tuesday, okay, that is Tuesday. The third one is Wednesday, but here you are getting Thursday. That means you are not getting the output in the order in which I had written them while defining the set. It can be anything. So when you are iterating through the set, don't expect that you will be getting all these values will get printed in a serial order, the way in which you have the order in which you have defined those items. No, it won't be printed in that order. It can be in any order, but all the values will get printed. Okay, that's why we say that the sets are unordered, because we are not using any index over here to access those values. So this thing is very important whenever you are defining a set. Now, the other way is that you can also define a set by using this set function. So over here, I'm defining a set function. Within that function, again, I have taken one list of these days names. Okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So this list will get converted to a set. If you will print or if you will iterate through these, you will be getting these things. Okay, so this is your set. This is your set, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, and these are the values that are being printed over here. Right? Any doubt behind this first? I think now that thing is clear, what's the meaning of ordered and unordered. Whenever you take a list and a tuple, and if you say that for I in tuple or I in list, print those values will get printed in a serial order. It will get printed in the same order in which you had defined those within a list or a tuple. Okay. Okay, now I will take one more thing. Now here again, I'm defining a set. Here I'm taking the values 1, 2, 2, 3, 5. Again 5, I'm taking 7, 7. Okay. Now here I'm defining a set as with some duplicate values, like 2 is being repeated twice, 5 is being repeated twice, similarly 7. Okay. Now just print that as, if you will print it, or if you will just suppose I'm saying, okay, if you are using any program, you will try to print it like this. So what you are getting? You're not getting this 2 twice, you're not getting this 5 twice. So although while defining that set, you have defined some duplicate values, but when you will try to use them, if you will iterate through them, or if you will try to print those values, this set will delete those duplicate values and only these unique values will get printed. Okay, so this is also a unique property of that set that is not available in list, tuples, or even in dictionaries. Okay. So I have written everything in these slides. Okay. So this is just how to create a set by using curly braces or by using the set method. So same example that I had told you already. Fine. And this thing is that, okay, I'll take it. Suppose I'm defining a set. In order to define a set, you are taking curly braces. I have written 2. Then I'm taking a list. Within that list, I'm taking these values 2, 3, 4. Okay, you're getting one error. Okay, whenever you're getting an error, now just check the type of that. What is the type of that? That is type error. That means you will come to know there is something that is related to the type. Why you're getting that error? Because you have defined one element of this set as a list. Okay, but what is list? List is your mutable type, but all the elements of the set should be what? It should be mutable type. Sorry, immutable type. Okay, so list is your mutable. That means you can update those values. That's why you are getting this type error over here. Okay, so whenever you're defining a set, within that all the elements that you have to take, those can be integers, it can be float, even strings, you can take those values. But over here a list you can't take, sorry, string also you can't take list. But can you take a tuple? Can you take a tuple? Yes, tuple you can take. Okay. Yes, Shashank, fine. Okay, because those are your immutable type. Although this set itself is what? Set itself is called mutable data type. Mutable means you can update or you can add the elements within that set. But all the elements of those should be your what? Those should be